Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Anna, and welcome to my YouTube channel in this magical month of May 2022. And are we ready for the full moon in Scorpio? It's going to be lunar eclipse, total, I think, total lunar eclipse. Well, it changes, transformation, we'll see. I just have to inform my Ayurveda group. I may need to postpone the Monday lecture seminar because I have a car appointment. I just want to figure out what's going on with the brakes, and so just giving you heads up. And just got back from the beach and connecting with those five elements. Right when I was standing on the sand beach. Right, you have the earth element, of course, close to the ocean, the water, right? Kind of washing my feet. That's the water element, right? The facing the sun, of course, with my eyes closed because the sun was already kind of ascended, was already in the clouds. I mean, you can still have the sun gazing just before the sunset or when the sun is, getting over the horizon. But then, of course, it's too much sunshine light, so I'm just closing my eyes, just facing the sun. And then, of course, the wind, the air, right? That's you have the index finger. I mean, that's the air element. That's the octahedron. And then, of course, the space, right? I mean, the space is everywhere. We're 99.9% energy, 0.1% matter. We're sound, light, frequency, vibration. And of course, I was chanting, right? Om Namah Shivaya. I don't know how many times, 5 times, 108 times, or 6 times, 108 times. And then, of course, I was standing and I had to sit down, just kind of integrate those energies. And, that's how I start my day, pretty much with prayers, meditations. I still want to go over the unity vow, right? The 12D shielding, very important, because that's my part of my warrior project, or how to be a spiritual warrior. I have Ascension Guardian project. Today again we'll touch on food because the food, it's extremely now important. I mean, I've been dealing with food addiction. Looks like I'm still overeating, especially during the evening or after I get back from work, and then it kind of feel the congestion in my intestines. But I have very good like metabolism or evacuation, sorry, but I just have to say that. But I can feel like if I eat less or if I am fasting, more energy. And even we had that, right? What the fasting does for you guys, it's unbelievable. What happens to your body when you're fasting, and you do have more energy and all this rejuvenation, and it's happening, right? The spike in growth hormones, and you can heal your joints and make new proteins. Your body can make new proteins, especially like 12 hours, 18 hours. That's the autophagy is happening, recycling of the old damaged proteins and microbes. Okay, all this stickiness, right? It's all being eliminated just by fasting. And to me, is drinking distilled water, of course. Here, Dr. Berger is recommending taking some supplements, whether it's vitamin B or drinking juices. You can drink, I'm sure, like celery juice, or to me, like orange juice, for me, vitamin C, orange juice, or taking zinc, right? I still have to take my zeolite. And what else I've been taking, maybe I'll make some smoothies, superfood for lunch, I'll see. But I can feel like how my intestines are getting more and more sensitive, and anything that kind of overwhelms, right, that the peristalsis, the digestion part of it, I have to just simply pay attention to that. Like, we're becoming so sensitive. Maybe I am becoming way too sensitive to all these energies. Like I said, we're going cosmic, we're going galactic, we're going supersonic. Okay, so tuning into those energies and doing that cleansing, clearing, purification, meditation, being outside close to the ocean or mountains, or hugging the trees, or listening to the birds, guys. This is how we're reawakening our DNA, remembering who we truly are, ascending, right? Exiting the matrix, that false system of the archons of the the negative faction, yeah. And of course, we've been dealing with the dark government, the shadow military, right? The DARPA, the what is it, the let me see, the I was dealing with the military, and I'm still dealing with them on the astral plane. So recently I was just kind of asking, please help me to make my astral body pure, right? So of course, invoking the Vad flame. A couple of days ago I was chanting, I'm a being of Vad fire, I am the purity God desires. Also for planet Earth is a planet of Vad fire, our earth is the purity God desires. And of course I was chanting for New York. Somehow, I need to get to New York. It's like interesting, all these whether the messages that are getting through, but also all these interruptions, and the MC, how they're constantly lowering my frequency vibrations, because the military, right, the military project, I'm dealing with the elite, and also with my soul siblings, or Pleiadians, ended up, in that cult, skull and bones. So all these reversals happening. We can go over that, just because I deal with sacred geometry, guys. My videos are for educational, entertainment, informational purposes. Here I'm here to inspire you, empower you. I'm giving you information the way I interpret it through my soul signature, energy signature. And very grateful and thankful that I'm creating those videos, even though hardly anybody understands what I'm saying, and that's okay. You still get the downloads, you get the energy thing. And this is how I'm then creating communities. This is my structure, my guidelines, okay? Everything that I've been creating. You can see things on my website if you're interested, yanakalai.com, right? And all these different factions, especially in the military, and kind of their tricks and all these sex games. Because next time I'll start talking also about the sexual energy and the trauma, right? And especially the military sexual trauma, MST. And I have some little notes here. There's something is already here. Let me see, let me grab this. The veterans of war.org, military sexual trauma. This guy, what's his name, former Marine Wiley, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Mr. Gray, and then Dr. Andrea Lucci. So they are doing sacred ceremony and talking about healing the sexual trauma, military sexual, through psychedelics like ayahuasca. So they're doing sacred ceremonies somewhere in South America or Costa Rica, I don't know. But this website, veterans of war, right, .org. So things are already happening. But my project involves the negative aliens, right? Exopolitics and nanotechnology. So it means the highly advanced technology, and unfortunately, the negative ones are abusing. Okay, there's abuse of power and authority in those higher places, in the echelon, right, of the mafia. You have the black nobility family, the controlling group, right? And they also got in touch or contracts, with the negative aliens of the Visa system. I mean, I know we's way up there, but that's why we're we have to go. We're going cosmic to override all the base 10 mathematics, right? They're base 10, the reversals, metatronic reversals. Okay, we need to override all that, because instead of 12 spheres of consciousness, 12 strands of DNA, they polluted us, they hijacked our DNA, our consciousness, and reversed everything and made their own mathematics, which is anti-life, anti-Christ, anti-human. Okay, and that's how they control, manipulate, MK Ultra, right? Siphon the energy, how they damage, and pretty much using us as batteries, as they themselves are nothing but parasites and vampires, but they consider us as slaves. Okay, and they put this quarantine around this earth, around this planet. And so then they can wreak havoc here and just control humanity, so so they can continue their agendas. But the Galactic Codex, right, divine intervention, the Galactic Command, the R-Star, I'm dealing with the R-Star Command. They actually help me bring this body back online, because yeah, the abuse, and the torture, the violence, the rape. I mean, everything they do, right? If they cannot mind control you, I mean, my mind was electrocuted, all this kind of experimentation they did. But we have the good ETs with their highly advanced technology, and helping us to free ourselves from this slavery, from this torture, right? From this prison planet, from this inversions and reversals, right? From that false matrix, and liberating us, right? And helping us with the healing and with consciousness expansion. That's why with me, like the military, right? The MC or the Marines, actually, let me see, I did look up like a Marine. They do all kinds of stuff in those astral plane, because they think they're invisible, like nobody can see them, so they think they're above the law, right? So a certain faction, like the controller groups, right? Do you guys see that? I pretty much, even when I applied for U.S. citizenship, I don't have the certificate there, but also I look like a Marine. Like I just but I never joined physically the military, right? I never hold that reptilian, Draco gun M1C. So I'm saying I'm a spiritual warrior. We use different techniques, and you have to be aligned with God's divine law, God's divine will, right? 13 principles of natural laws, Lisa Rene Ascension glossaries, or you can find it on my website, yanakalai.com. And that's under about. So that's why here again, the introduction, my disclaimer, you can also find my website, yanakalai.com, under contact, right? That how you guys perceive what I am sharing with you becomes your world, your reality, and what you do with it is your responsibility, as we are very powerful co-creators with the divine. We're watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, even our deeds and actions, right? That represents us. And I have to admit that I'm still kind of struggling with some of the military factions, right? Constantly lowering their frequency vibration. For them, it's all about control, manipulation, with their predator mind, with all this patriarchal kind of conditioning, right? The guy, the masculine, and so on, and all these perversions and sexual abuse, and pedophilia and child sex trafficking and pornography. I mean, it damages your DNA, being on drugs, right? That's why I have a little bit like an not issue, but dealing with those psychedelics. Even though Dr. Andrea Lucci, right, she is let me see, I think I wrote it down somewhere. She's a healer. She's of Chile. She is trained in ancient healing practices in the United States and Mexico. She's got PhD in mind body medicine, and they do involve the aspect of spirit, right? In the Trinity now, the 0 point balance. How do you want to get out of the duality, right? You have to go to God, to source. That's why all the guys, all the Marines are my soul sibling, my soul group. I mean, those who are either ready, who are open to expand their consciousness, who are ready to go back to God, to source, who are choosing the light. I'm here, I guess. They're still keeping me alive, even though this is crazy. I'm building the platform for them to heal, right? Through food, through nutrition, to japa mantra meditation, solfeggio tones, I mean music, right? Through with the sound bath healing therapies, because that's what helped me, cooking ayurvedically, and of course yoga. Next time also we'll talk again about the 8 steps of yoga, withdrawing from the external world and going deep within, because for me meditation, like it's automatic. And when I was growing up, or like even teenager, the messages, we're going back to God, we're going back to source, we're going back to our original self, and that's it. Like, don't look like around or aside. I mean, that was the messages from the rishis. I that's how I feel from the rishis, from the ascended masters. I mean, the guiding group. Again, it was shown to me many times what is my mission. When I was 6 years old, 13 years old, I got the activation from the Pleiadians watching the movie Neverending Stories. And when I was 16 years old, my mom made this kind of very cool dress or some kind of outfit for me, because communist country, we didn't have that great dresses or clothes, right? Like you guys, United States. I went to the movies, Dirty Dancing, and again, attunement, right? This is going to be your project, mission, assignment, and they were already working. I know they were working with kind of technology already on me. So that's when I was brutally abused and violated, especially. Was it the January 2013, right? This body was supposed to be disposed of. I already had a technology that could neutralize the harmful effects, whatever they put into my bloodstream, right? All these injections, maybe some horrible viruses, right? And maybe graphene oxide already at that time, because I did feel like I did lose a weight, like this I look like a really like a baby almost now. I don't have looks like I'm not fascia. I have no fascia, hardly any tissue. It's just whatever is left, my energy just but they really destroy my aura, my energy field, guys. That's why my videos, like I said, they're not for everybody. For advanced souls, sensitive souls, indigo warriors, spiritual warriors, truth seekers, and whistleblowers. I mean, those who made it, because you know those who already had a connection with their spirit, with their source, right? Pretty much those were either they were able to be rescued, star seeds, right? Indigo warriors and so on. Because what they do in the military with the base 10 mathematics, they disconnect from God, from source. So guys who are joining military and from extremely troubled family or dysfunctional family, and they don't even experience love or connection to God, to source, they're the most damaged, right? And again, the Galactics, with their whether taking on technology, their healing med beds, or the pyramids, right, or dealing with crystal technology, and it's incredible. Like I created a project back in 2009 and 2012, and here I'm reading this from Magenta Pixie, right? And here, guys who were abused sexually, or male transmutation of traumas and energies. Sexual abuse takes place in various ways within males. So there are methods, right? And so we spoke of such thing as yoga. So I came with yoga, right? Massages, Ayurveda massages, crystal work. I working with crystals. Everything was like in high vibrational diet, food, right? Ayurveda cooking. Also how to create space, being on a sunshine and wind, the 5 elements or 4 elements, 5 elements, I think I was mentioning. So everything that I pretty much constructed back then, more than a decade ago, right? I have a PowerPoint presentations. I have my, I had my brochures. Everything was ready. And of course, let me see what else was there. The Christ consciousness kind of teachings, the Course in Miracles, like inspirational, the yoga philosophy. I had everything set up for those guys, not even realizing, oh my God, that I really hit the spot. What I'm saying, that nobody talks about, the taboo. It's like a taboo. You don't talk about those kind of things. Or you've been abused, sexually abused, and things like that. You don't talk about it, right? And the mind control, and those guys, then they think they get all this power. They can get any girl, make sure the girl has an apartment, and that's kind of how they get their parties going all on while being abused and violated, and being in that computer simulation, in the phantom matrix of blended realities, being on drugs and alcohol, and being out there, and working for the cabal, and being the proxy soldiers or proxy marines, or the super soldiers, right? With direct programming. It means they have no will, no power, nothing. Everything's taking away from them, because their aura energy field. That's why I was not much inspired by by the military, because the infiltration of their aura energy field, everything inverted, perverted, upside down, all this fracturing, compartmentalization of their mind. I mean, you can read everything in their aura energy field, like Om Namah Shivaya. What is this all about? What is Shogun, Samurai, Ninja, right? In their in their uniform, or karate kind of uniform or silk uniform, you know, with the machete or with the samurai sword. So, and plus coming from Eastern Europe, different mentality, different upbringing, right? So this is, guys, what I've experienced and, you know, what I've noticed. And looks like the Galactics are in the Ashtar. I mean, you know, they're keeping me alive here for a reason, so I can share that wisdom and knowledge for you and create that platforms for those that are ready. Even though this is a cosmic knowledge, this is an ancient knowledge. I mean, we should all be familiar with it, but because of the infiltration and invasion, right, and the control manipulation of these breeding programs and you know, women in cages, right, and the mutation of our DNA and the abduction, military abductions, you name it, and the drinking adrenochrome, right, and you know, it damages our DNA. We talk about the 5G, right, the radio frequency, how those guys, their brain is pretty much microwave. They're on, you know, already on marijuana, right, pot. They're smoking pot. They cannot really think for themselves. They're in a horrible pain. So anyway, so I'm addressing that. Okay, so it was again a huge big you know, introduction to who I am, what I represent. So you know, there's so much on my mind, guys. I'm very you know, I'm kind of very busy with my mind because I had to digest many things, and I'm still dealing with the astral, you know, all these kind of interesting aliens, you know, entities, you know, but we have the good ETs, of course. Wise Etheric Galactic Federation. This is from Jupiter, actually. Ashtar Galactic Command, an Ashtar Galactic Command, and you know, we have all kinds of, good ETs helping us with the Ascension. These, I'm not sure. This is part of Zeta Reticuli. Oh my God, this is kind of what I've been dealing with too, you know, in a military, right? So, and it's interesting that the guys in the military, some of them, oh, this is their sad destiny. Look what happened to some of those Zeta Reticuli, and they're nothing but slaves for the Secor Empire, for the Orion group. Okay. So you see, we can't, you know, so that's why to me the education is why I love to teach and, you know, and educate people, because there is so much we've been oppressed, and all these classified information needs to be declassified, right? We need the ET disclosure and exposure of the wrongdoings, or talking about it, right? In a professional, diplomatic way. That's to me way to go. So. And then we have, we have the Pleiadians here, the military operations in the background. Wow, this with the, look at this beautiful sacred geometry, or the mandala. Okay, I mean, I totally admire this book. I mean, the paintings. She's amazing. Elena Danan is an artist, right? And you know, I'm not watching her videos anymore, but I think her drawings are extremely made. Taygeta people, Taygeta Pleiadians. Okay, but I've been unfortunately dealing with the elite here, in the elite from the astral plane, because of the, you know, black magic, right? Their secret ceremonies, it means the satanic sexual abuses, right? And what they were doing in the was it the Bohemian Grove in California, and who knows what else. And then they have free technology, because it's real. The treaty, you know, right? That was back time, the time of Dwight Eisenhower, you know, his presidency, and I don't know who then really signed the contract with those Greys, that they are under the Orion group, right? The Secor Empire, trading humans for highly advanced technology. So the government, the secret government, you know, they have spaceships, time travel technology. You can go to the moon, Mars, right? Who knows what else? Okay. And here we go, you know, driving a car. That's why you know, I know that I still have things to learn, guys, like let go of like the money structure, and, you know, my car, and then I have to move, probably relocate, and I have to really start, you know, speaking my truth, even though it's crazy, right? But I'm still kind of careful, because, you know, I need to pay my rent, right? And then you know, the honesty, right? Like if I say something, you know, this is my truth. For you guys, you can have totally different truth, you know. So for me, it's like being open to each other's opinions, right? The unity in diversity, because, you know, we are ascending, right? We're going to the next harmonic universe, you know, number 2, right? soul connection consciousness expansion, guys. There, but some of us, we already come from extremely high dimensions. But you know, the 4D, the astral, in those high densities, that needs to be reconciled, because that's where the most damage happened. And you know, people, 3D people, right, the mind kind of not open, 3D mind with their calcified pineal gland. You know, again, I'm not judging, but eating steak and drinking Coca-Cola and watching porn and just going to work from 8 to 5, you know, it's you know, we were not designed like that. It shows the degradation, the fall from grace, right? Especially whether that was the Lemurian Holocaust, the Atlantis cataclysm, abuse of dark matter, and those, you know, highly advanced technologies, crystalline technology, and so on. You see the degradation, right? It's been happening for millennia, for you know, thousands of years, even, you know, for eons, for millions of years. You know, seeding of the you know, the divine, the angelic divine luminous beings, right? Like 3 seedings of them, and all these galactic wars, electric wars, thousand wars, and all this infiltration, right? The ancient Egypt as well. So it's the master raider races. That's what we've been dealing, you know. And so those active light workers or star seeds, and grid workers, gatekeepers, I can see how like we're so busy. I'm trying to also be busy with my videos and just sharing as much information as possible, you know, just expand people's consciousness. And this is my passion. That's what I do. And even, you know, the yoga and Ayurveda, of course, you know, will continue. We'll have we have to postpone this Monday, because I want to make sure my car is running well. So I apologize for that. But yeah, we've been dealing with all kinds of races, and the Orion, Om Namah Shivaya, but they're the ancient ones of the Orion constellation, and they're extremely loving, extremely high dimensional. And I've been also dealing with the solar rishis, okay? Whether from the 13, 14, or 15 dimension, the Holy Father. Like last time I mentioned the Holy Father, right? We have to have the roots, strong roots. I don't have my tree today. Like imagine, like, you know, you're a divinity being grounded. That's what we do. We're grounding the divinity here to this planet, to this what is the solar system, or, you know, to this plane of existence, right? To this kind of reality, so then we can ascend. I mean, Mother Earth is ascending. She wants to go back home too, right? And you know, I'm all about ascension. Oh, that's them, from the Orion, the ancient ones, the etheric balance elders council, Galactic Federation. Look at that, with the Merkaba. That's why I love her paintings. I mean, her drawings, they're amazing. Yeah, that was the Orion group, guys. And let me see. Oh my goodness, they're just, but then, oh, really bad one. Secrets, the Cabal, secret space program, right? So here we go. That's, they're doing all kinds of surgeries on you. That's why, you know, they can make you look like a Marine. They think, oh, you joined the military, or thank you for your service. And people don't understand what is behind all this. That's why I understand for some of you guys, this is illusion, doesn't exist. But I have books, you know, you can read, kind of dive into it, and feel your intuition. I mean, start listening to your intuition, follow your heart. It's time really to say hi to your soul, reconnect to your true being, divine essence. And here we go. We have some AI, artificial intelligence here, clones, you know, Armada, pure evil, you know, all these kind of things, guys. Yeah, with the DARPA, with the robotics, in the underground, people don't even know. If people had to, like, now, you know, hear the whole disclosure thing, what's been happening, what is transpiring. I mean, that's why it needs to happen step by step, because people get heart attack or stroke. I mean, they would not be able to comprehend that, yeah, because if you don't meditate, you don't do yoga, if your mind is not flexible, your neuroplasticity, right? I mean, it's there, but if you haven't been practicing your brain and so on, right, it's just people immediately get into fear, and it's overloaded, they get overwhelmed, and you know, they can have all kinds of serious problems, right? For me, people who don't meditate, who don't do any spiritual practice, you're like not taking shower. So, you know, there are people that never take shower, they never meditated, right? So for decades, not taking a shower, right? Then you see their aura energy field, how it's just not pretty. Okay, again, I don't want to judge, I don't want to criticize, but those are very ethereal, or Lemurians, right? Or the volunteer soul coming from extremely high frequency dimension. It's just like some people like, ooh, that's why I have to constantly protect myself and put more layers of clothes just to kind of, ooh, baby. It's like, no, 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 no. And that's why the self-study, self-discipline, the yoga, the inner work, extremely important, guys. Because yeah, just exiting the matrix, right? The Vega system, they protect Terra. So these are more like of the Rishi sages. Okay, that's also what I work with. Mahatavar Babaji, right? Satya Sai Baba. Let me look at the pictures there, guys. So somehow, just kind of Shiva, the dancing Shiva. This is one of his reincarnation, Mahatavar Babaji. I don't have the real picture, sitting in a cave and meditating. That's from Paramsa Yogananda, right? So let me see. So this is my world, right? And that's why I am just kind of teaching this. This is who I am. This is what I represent. Before, I was so extremely abused and violated, by the military on Unholy Trinity, the Black Ops, right? The Men in Black. I mean, this Black Sun operations, and how they were trying to destroy me because they couldn't. Well, they're trying to make Marine or super soldier out of me, but it's just then they dispose of your body. It just doesn't work, because you don't mind control me, you don't electrocute me, okay? Because I already been practicing Tantra yoga, Raja yoga, all this meditation. I mean, I've been so devoted to Buddhism, Hinduism, especially when I came over here to United States, okay? And even before that, I started like I said, when I was in Prague with Ayurveda, right? And let me see, I started yoga back then I went to Germany, and there was a teacher of yoga teacher, somebody was trained in Switzerland. The book Initiation from Elizabeth Haig. Also, when I was a teenager, I studied the Jewish mystica, the Kabbalah, right? The mysticism and all these kind of things. So that's why we have these assignments. And of course, I didn't know that coming to United States. For me, that was very natural. You connect with your soul. This is a free country, and here we go. No, it's like the opposite happened. Look of these infiltration injustices. But again, you guys, with the grace, right, signing the treaty, with the U.S. Congress back then in 1950s, trading humans for highly advanced technology. Okay, so that needs to be reconciled. That needs to be embraced, acknowledged. It needs to be transformed, but needs to be disclosed. Because how are we going to make the change, right? So the Telosians are also helping us from the inner earth, right? So that's why here's the book, 5D Protocol. Let me see, the 5 protocols of the 5th dimension, right? The practice of the evolving self. You can find it on my website, Yanakalai Services. And it's pretty much, asking yourself, who am I? Why did I come here to this planet? What is my mission? What is my gifts and talents, right? And like, oh my God, start writing things down, like things, the belief system that is limiting you, and belief system that expands your consciousness, right? Like I said, very important to start writing things down. I'm writing everything down pretty much, my dreams. For some reason, right now, I cannot remember my dreams. So I know I'm dreaming, but then I wake up and it's like a split, no more remembrance. That's interesting. We're going through all kinds of ascension symptoms and processes. It is a process, okay? So don't give up. And then, the soul communion is the key. So soul connection, consciousness expansion, like, oh my soul, SOS, right? I talk about soul, please come back to me, and just bring it into your heart. So, and you feel that click, you feel like being home again, but it takes time, right? You have to, pray, meditate, and you have to do it each and every day. The spiritual practice, sadhana, extremely important. So I have this for you guys. And that's you see the Lemuria, right? We're also, for me, like entering the new Lemuria, the new Atlantis, okay? Resurrecting the ancient Egypt as well. So bringing the ancient knowledge back online. If you want to travel to Atlantis, Sacred Journey to Atlantis with Dr. Norma Milanovic, and all these things. Right here is Paramsa Yogananda. Okay, this is his picture. That's when he came to United States and he created yoga center. Was it the fellowship in Ensenada, California, right? So, I'm just like, all these things have been established, but unfortunately, all these infiltrations, war between good and evil, and, those bad guys, the nanotechnology, and, they're abusing extremely highly advanced, like a technology, right? So the light shall set you free, guys. If you want to read that, lots of how to work with energies. I mean, it's a law. Actually, it's about universal laws. The light shall set you free, and she got lots of downloads from ascended masters. Okay, and it's here to make this world a better place, to transform the world. We really need to understand the universal laws. So you can find in my credo, the New Earth jurisdiction. That's what I created. Let me see. Do I have it somewhere here? I have so many papers. Yeah, maybe I'll find it later. Yeah, here. The New Earth jurisdiction, Galactic Codex implementation, right? I also said the law of one, the law of Ra. Polarities are harmonized, complexities are simplified, paradoxes have solution. The law of one, so the universe is infinite. I mean, just kind of reading over that, the Galactic Codex, the law of divine grace, the law of dividing parties, the law of balance, the law of intervention. We have the golden rule, the law of response, the law of cause and effect. I mean, we have to do the work. We have to align ourselves. We're the disclosure. We're exposing the wrongdoings, right? Because the people. I mean, the people, and the good government, or the good council, right? The government, the G, right? The Masonic symbol of running all reversals, and those are the negative aliens, the negative faction of the Dracos, reptilians, the Anunnaki, right? The fallen ones, or the Zetas, or the Greys, or the Orion group, and all these kind of things. So they were running, the base 10 mathematics, anti-life, anti-Christ, anti-human codes. Okay, and the way I talk to is in symbology, right? And then you can see the split in consciousness, divide and conquer, jealousy, envy, right? All these families, divisions, right? And everything is material and just physical, and people are judging because in their 3D mind, they're mind controlled, eating pizza. Even like my co-workers, they're constantly just watching some movies and eating pizza, and there's so many fruits and vegetables. Yes, we're going back to the Lemurian diet, guys, with me, because I've been still struggling with the food addiction. Let me see, the Lemurian diet, going back to garden, right? And having compassionate diet for ascending individual. That's Ayurveda, macrobiotic, the Essenes, I mean, their teachings, and the Eastern society. So pretty much that's the way to go. The veggies, mineral rich leaves and leafy greens. I mean, now the spring, those the green leafy vegetables, right? Lots of chlorophyll from the sun. That's how you get the strength, not only for the physical body, but also the light body. We're building the light body, the Merkaba. That's how the consciousness can travel, right? The column of light shining bright. We're holding the frequency vibration, and with the what is it? The protocol, the quantum. We're going quantum, right? Quantum manifestation protocol. I do go also into the underworld. I spend there for quite some time, but then because you're already powerful core, right? You're in your core. Let me see. That's your solar plexus, your heart chakra, guys. That's where your core is. Okay, you're making sure that your chakras are getting strong and purified, because we've been messed up. They're the highly technology, the negative ones, the dark forces. They know about chakras. They know about our aura. They know about our energy field. They understand the morphogenic field, and wiping our memories, and the ancient history and so on. They're playing with the weather, and then claiming it on weather changes and all these kind of stuff. So but yeah, the food, right? The food, the vegetables, and even, the fruits, actually, the sweetness, because I was addicted to sugar, right? Even though I transferred to the organic sugar, natural sugar, cane sugar, just my body now cannot handle sugar anymore. Like it just became so sensitive. Or I immediately, because people at work, the Dunkin' Donuts, they bring and drink coffee and all these kind of things, I immediately get a reaction. So that's why I have to move. I have to make some change, because I need to be around people, individuals, right? Where we talk about yoga, Ayurveda in the project, or Ayurveda restaurant, or somewhere where my philosophy is being supported. And so that's why, I'm just making the changes, transformation, the Scorpio full moon, right, coming here in a couple of days. So this is going to be, again, interesting. So staying in your heart, in your core, extremely important. And the Lemuria, the new Lemuria, it's all about simplicity, peace, compassion, unity, and love, with with the intellectual, magical, and technological traits of the Atlanteans. Okay, so plant-based diet, vegan. We were talking about the fruits and vegetables, sea vegetables, coconut milk. Right, it's got so much charge, and you can have visions. Right, and sea vegetables, you can help us to connect with some ET extraterrestrials. Right, we talk about the mushrooms and the spores, how the ETs actually were traveling, and with those mushrooms, and landed here. This is a living library here, the Earth, right? All the ETs, all the communities of ETs coming together, and sharing their, whether DNA, their experimentations, but it was for the good. That's how the Christos found the races, right? Created this 15-dimensional time matrix with the 12 strands of DNA, the angelic divine luminous beings, and so on. And so this is supposed to be very playful and like experiential and for exploration kind of planet. One race, one heart, but seeing acknowledging the differences, seeing it for what it is. But that's honoring all that, because it expands our consciousness. So, and I know this is like not a popular topic. I can see the businesses, car dealerships, and people have this 3D kind of, mindset, and this product, that product, everything that is physical. And, there are so many, beautiful things happening. But, I work with consciousness. For me, it's consciousness. You cannot make a Marine or super soldier of the negative faction if I am a yogi, right? If I'm a Rishi and I'm here for the Ascension, and I have an assignment, I have a mission, I'm here to make this world a better place, make America great again. And there's a divine plan that needs to be fulfilled. Okay, and they were running reversals and so-called above the law, disrespecting God's law, and especially those high-ranking military officers, right? I was married to a certain individual, or having also a relationship or affair with somebody in the military, right? And all these kind of things. So I understand. That's why I have the project here, because we're here to experience things, but I'm going back to God, to source, and just praying that we can kind of move forward with all that and start creating those communities, with ETs. I mean, the technology is already here, so but man minus ego equals God, right? So, and so then we talk about the nuts and seeds, right? Raw nuts, make sure they're not being roasted in some kind of interesting oil, like canola oil, vegetable oil. And seeds, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, right? Pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, guys. It contains so much minerals, right, and nutrients, for your physical body, for your light body, right. The root vegetables like pumpkins, we talk about pumpkins and squash, right, also helps you to dive deep and see what is in that subconscious mind, all this programming, conditioning. Like, I have to release also the fear, like, the like not enough money, or what's going on, like things with my car. I just have to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Whatever situation happens, just go into my heart, into my center, just and be positive. That's what Marina Jacobi teaches, right? With her quantum manifestation. And also, what is it? Kathy O'Brien, PTSD Time to Heal, right? Writing things down, because even Mark Phillips, right, the neuroscientist insider who actually saved her, from that slavery. She was a sex slave in White House. Hey, girl, you want to be in a relationship? Find yourself first. Know who you truly are. Know your worth, right? The same thing here, people, relationships, la 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 la. And reconnect with your soul. Say hi to your soul. Start feeling your intuitions. Get your, heartbeat. Kind of connected, or aligned with the heartbeat of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and with Father Sky, or the cosmic parents. And then you start seeing the energies, or talking to certain individuals, and you immediately see what this is all about. Once you are healing yourself and you're working on yourself and doing the inner work, or cleansing, clearing, purification, meditation, right, having a deep reverence, connection to the divine, then you can be ready for some beautiful magical relationship. Right here we talk 5D relationship, but the 4D, right, you need to kind of reconcile with yourself, like, do all that healing, transformational work. Is why I'm here, teaching and constantly talking about the Ascension Guardian Protocol, right? Just, the drill, listening to, the solfeggio tones, healing music, right? So your DNA is becoming beautiful, nice, and crystalline, like flowers. Because the guys in the military, their DNA has been extremely damaged, polluted, right? That's why we talk about the bioregenesis, and we talk about deprogramming. So here I was, guys, showing you all these CDs right here, listening to solfeggio tones. We already talked about it a couple of times. I love the blue colors, and I'm very much attracted to these frequency, like 741, and was it 852, the royal one, right? The purple, like invocation of the violet flame, guys. So this is kind of how I roll here, how I rock here. This is my space here, right? On a spacecraft here. We see a bunch of them now here in the sky. All kinds of, ETs, extraterrestrials, the positive ones. Like when you have that love for God, for source, for yourself, you feel your self-worth, you're forgiving, you're a compassionate witness, you're here to help humanity, help others. Of course, you'll get the contact, connection, help from the divine, from the galactic domain, from, the good ETs, the Pleiadians, or the Icturians, and the Andromedans, the Lyrans, and the Syrians of the positive faction, right? Because then, we have the negative ones, the negative Dracos, unfortunately, the Orion group, or the Grey Collective, doing these horrible experimentations on humans or children, and all these satanic rituals, the Satanism, the pedophilia, right? All these psychopaths, narcissistic kind of individuals, and so on. So, this all needs to be healed, transformed, acknowledged. It's part of our evolution. Unfortunately, this is no more status quo. I mean, those who want to kind of play that game, status quo, that's fine, but I know it's not going to work, because ascending, the ego needs to be transformed, transmuted. The ego pretty much needs to go, right? Let me see, all the Syrians. Yeah, they're here. There's somebody from Sirius, right? So we have more ETs here, ETs, extraterrestrials, and then where are the Dracos? Are they somewhere here? Because the Icturians, right? The Icturians right here with the Merkaba, guys. Learn how to build a Merkaba around you, so that you can travel, right? with your consciousness. And let me see. Oh, the bad guys, the Akori also, they can trick you, right? They think they're the Nordics. People think maybe they're the Nord good, but you see the energy. It's all about energy, frequency, vibration. It doesn't matter how you look, even the symbology, right? Because if you read the energy, then you know that they actually, they're working with the negative faction. They're working with the reversals. They're working with those inversions, right? And so all about the opening yourself to those higher dimensions. Oh, these are really bad guys. Yeah, the matras. Okay, that's also what I've been dealing with. Okay, and that's why they're not allowing to, I guess, continue the military project, healing those guys, those who are recruited in those planetary corporations, right? I mentioned the Kruger, but the Scorpio, the Monarch, right? The Shorelines. I mean, they were recruited for the elite, for the negative aliens. Okay. Let me see. Do I have the Draconis here somewhere? No, the Andromeda. Actually, the Andromeda. That's the crystal star. They're hosting the Ascension, helping us with the Ascension. So it's amazing. But yeah, I skipped the yeah, let me see. The Dracos, are they here somewhere? Yeah, maybe I just right now I'm not supposed to show them to you guys. They're hiding. But I show you really some of the bad ones. So yeah, it's so funny. Sometimes I have them. It's just right spot on. And sometimes I can't find them, so it is very interesting. Oh, here we go. Here they are. So, and some of them, they can then get a human form. And so also, I just want to mention, guys, like those who are, the elite, like, I have their DNA, the Dracos, the Draconians, but because you have this human body, the precious human body, you can ascend and you can erase, the history of that lineage of like raiding and pillaging and killing and murdering and massacring, you know what I'm saying? You are not determined by your DNA. You're not. Now, epigenetics, Dr. Bruce Lipton, right? Biology or beliefs, you can transform all that. The power of the mind. That's why my friend, I had this interesting, very deep discussion with her. What happened? She was diagnosed with cancer stage 4, and so many, doctors kind of refused. They didn't want to work on her here in Florida, so she went to a clinic there in Manhattan, New York, right? Somebody said, okay, yeah, let's do some kind of experimentation. They'll help her, and she's now alive. But because whenever she was, on those pain pills, and she was relieved from all these horrible pains she had to go through, she would pray and meditate. And Dr. Murphy, I think that isn't it, believe in yourself and like the power of the subconscious mind. So she was constantly, I'm healthy, I am alive, and her family was helping her a lot. And of course, also it cost lots of money. So I'm sure her husband, she was very lucky that her husband was able to afford, all these hospitalization, because she was actually throwing up blood. That's how bad it was. And she one day she thought she's not going to make it, but her daughter came because somebody of the doctors who was watching those patients there, hey, maybe somebody needs to see you now because you don't have much time. And it was told to her a couple of times, you don't have much time. And daughter comes and she feels her candle, the light candle, being rekindled again. But that was because she was focusing whenever she could on connection to God, to source. So you see, miracles do happen. God is great, and if you're meant to be here, you're going to be here, even though people are experiencing all kinds of ascension symptoms, health issues, right? Psychological issues, mental issues, relationship issues, money issues. But that's even like my situation. Even though I am, most of the time I'm jiving, I am flying, I'm flowing. But here we go, whether it's the car or like the money and like moving, and so on, right? So I'm like, I have to still practice, and also the food, and so on, and looking for a place to stay or rent, and I'm asking, like I said, for something, and like people are emailing me and like, oh, if you're going to be my slave, and the fetish kind of thing going on. Do you see the reversals? You see the perversion? And here I mentioned I'm doing yoga, Ayurveda, I pray or meditate every day, and look what I get in response, right? So I have to transmute that constantly. Like the same thing with military. I'm not your prostitute. I'm not your battery, right? I am not your slave, or whatever. I'm a yogini, right? And so with the military, I don't know how everything will go unfold, right? There's to be respect, honor, dignity, like working on that project, God sovereign free boundaries, right? There has to be decent communication here. I have all the presentations and all these kind of things. So they have to face the consequences of their actions. I mean, it is what it is. If not me, somebody else will, I'm sure, will substitute and do the work. But I gotta do what gotta do. I know I'm very stubborn, difficult, complex, right? And the military, they just want to control, manipulate, right? They use guns if they need to get rid of you. And now everything is monitored, and everything is going to divine justice. Okay, 100% from A to Z. Everything needs to be transformed, transmuted. Means everything needs to be aligned with the force of life. Okay, with the Christed codes, and this is how we are rolling here. So I mentioned the diet, guys. This is what actually I wanted to kind of talk about, but I think I already went over that. The beans, the beans needs to be cooked. It needs to be soaked. If you want to cook with it, make sure it's not harsh. It's not harsh for your stomach, and so on. But I know I am mixing everything, like everything together, guys. I'm just kind of mixture. Only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But the communities, that are happening, right? The military sexual trauma is happening. There was the veterans of war.org, okay? Former Marine Willie Wiley Gray, I pronounce his name. But they are doing ayahuasca ceremonies in South America, and like for me, like the guardians here, working with the solar rishis, the high command, the galactic command, and so on, because we're dealing with those really bad ones in those high densities. You have to establish your boundaries, you have to cleanse your aura, energy field. You know what I'm saying? And then those guys, they're already like, they're on medications, already overdosed, and all these kind of things. That's why we need the ETs, the ET disclosure, because they're monitoring everything, right? With the taking technology, with the med beds, because also we're dealing with the psychotronic weapons, and all these MK Ultra, it's just a very, very complex and intrigue kind of methods that they were using to abuse our mind, the power of the mind. So we've been really here infiltrated a lot, and so okay, my beloveds, I hope I didn't overwhelm you this time. Many blessings and namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye bye.